you so much for being with us today. We welcome you to the High School of Fashion Industries. It's a great honor that you are here to speak to our students today. In light of Career Day being virtual, the students are used to having the professionals coming into the building and meeting and networking with them. But in light of COVID, this is the very best option that we have for them. So thank you so much for being with us here today.
Oh, hi, Myrna. Thank you so much for having me. I'm truly so honored that you asked me here. And, I hope that I can impart some wisdom.
I'm sure you will. So did you want to tell us a little bit about your business so that the students understand like your line of work and what you're doing now?
Sure, absolutely. I am the founder and the president of the Honeyman agency, which is founded after my last name. And, what we do is a little bit different from traditional PR. Because we're in Los Angeles, my business is very, very focused on celebrity dressing. I do full service public relations for a few of our clients, but predominantly, and with the way the climate is and with the way the market is, brands really find the most value right now in celebrity placement. And so when I started my business, I did start it as a full service PR agency, and it very quickly, especially it aligning with the start of Instagram and the popularity of Instagram taking off, it was very, very soon that I realized that celebrity dressing is really, should be our main focus and our drive.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So how long have you been in this position or in this industry that you're in now?
Sure. I've been in the industry for 15 years, which is crazy. And this year, I will have had my business for 7 years. And I've worked with companies, I've worked in-house, and, it was definitely a poignant time 7 years ago where I felt that it was the right moment to start my own company.
That's great. That's amazing. And so many of us, start somewhere and then figure out that's not our passion. That's not really what drives us. And then, we make these career changes. So I can definitely relate to that myself. Having been in a corporate environment and then shifting over to education. So it's really finding the purpose, that helps us stay motivated and passionate about what we do. So what is a typical work day like for you?
A typical work day, pre and post COVID are a little bit different. But a typical work day for us is, 10 to 20 stylists in and out of my showroom. I have a showroom in Los Angeles where I house all of the collections from my designers that we work with. And stylists come in and they work on different projects. They may be doing street style. They may be doing a shoot. They may be doing, anything, a red carpet event before COVID, which that was very prevalent. And they come and borrow pieces from our designers and take them to fittings, and and then if anything is worn, fantastic, and then sometimes nothing is worn. So we definitely are. A typical day is meeting with my staff, going over objectives, talking about what events are happening, what relevant things in the world are happening, because that really, you have to strategize what your pitch is. If it's the Oscars, you're sending out gowns. If it's Coachella, you're sending out purses and shoes, or bathing suits, or, something more casual. So strategy is a big, big part of our day. And even in this new COVID world, we've definitely had to adapt, and strategy is still the most important because you have to cater to what people need now. And what people need now is street style and, a different kind of direction. So we're still seeing stylists all of the time, even if it's virtual. And a typical day, Zooming with clients, checking in on what's going on with them, what their particular needs are, where they're at. And, I think what COVID has given us is a sense of really having the time to check in with your employees, with your clients, with stylists, with editors, with influencers, and really have that time to ask and know what people need and what the wants are now. And so you can service them better. So in a way, this new foundation of working, it's not easier, but it definitely, I think we needed to slow down.
Yes, I have to agree. It's almost like we were forced to take a pause and redo things a little bit differently. In some industries, it has worked. In others, maybe they're challenged to reinvent themselves and find other ways to connect with people. So I think that's great that you guys are still finding different ways and strategies to connect with your consumers and your target market. So thank you for that. What do you like the best about what you do?
The best part of my job are the amazingly creative, smart, and incredible people that I get to work with. I have made some of my best friends over the years through this industry, and the conversations that we have, the inspiration, and our industry, no matter what part of marketing you're in, relationships are everything, and they really will lift you up in this industry. And even when things look down, your relationships will carry you, because we're all in this together. And we're all taking care of each other, no matter what your position is.
Absolutely. Thank you, Shana. Yeah.
Absolutely. But that probably is my favorite part. And obviously, I have so many amazing clients that I've met, just the wonderful and people that I have been able to have in my life because of this.
That's amazing. Thank you, Shana. And is there anything that you'd say you like the least about what you do?
I think the hardest part about what we do is that there is no definitive answer that anything will work. You can get the most amazing request and call an address and have it overnighted from Italy and be told that this person is wearing it no matter what, and it could not happen. And so I think, I work very hard. I take things very personally, and I really care about my clients' well-being and what happens with them. So I think that having no control over outcomes is probably the hardest part of being in public relations.
Absolutely. That has to be very challenging, not having any control and letting go to what can happen. The possibilities of things that can happen must definitely be a great challenge. So in light of someone going into your line of work, what skills should they possess to really thrive in what you do?
Number one is having the ability to adapt and talk to people and be able to form personal relationships. That is, to me, that is the number one asset that you can have in this industry. And I also think critical thinking, you have to know what people want. There is not going to be every client for every editor, for every stylist, and I think one of the reasons why I have succeeded in this is because editors, influencers, stylists, they trust me. I don't push things down their throat. And they know that when I'm showing them something, that is probably going to be something that they like. And if not now, at least in the future. And so I think really possessing the ability to read people and form relationships and keep those relationships going is so important.
I mean, and especially in these times today, I know our students are feeling challenged in that area of networking and building and creating and maintaining those relationships. In the current state that we're in, what advice would you give the students on how to foster and how to create and develop those relationships?
Sure. In the current climate,
yes,
I think that because we are all connecting over Zoom. We're all connecting over Instagram. You know, it is the new way. And I think that you can make those connections just through, you know, asking questions, keeping up. You know, I also think that there is, at this point, you know, so many editors that I've talked to say that, you know, even before COVID, you know, market appointments are a thing of the past. They find everything on Instagram. So a DM that reads correctly can change your life. Or, you know, just being persistent and reaching out to the right person, offering services, you know, picking somebody's brain. I've had a couple of people, you know, contact me over the last few months who have just asked to talk to me for 30 minutes. And, you know, for the first time, I do have the time to do that. And I think that it's really just about putting your ego aside and just reaching out, because at this point, the one thing you do know is that everybody is only communicating online. Yeah, so there's that advantage right there.
That's great advice. Thank you, Shana. And when we think about, you know, again, all the challenges that we've encountered, a lot of people have been struggling with staying motivated. So what gets you up in the morning to be fired up and really like tackle the day?
Knowing that this is a new world and it's been extremely difficult, but in that, it also breeds new opportunity. And I think we all have to remember, you know, after the revolution came the Renaissance. And I think that we are about to be in our most creative state that we've been in a long, long time. Again, this has been extremely challenging, but I think challenges make us really take account of our being stagnant, of being comfortable and working in one way, and making us challenge ourselves. You know, it's interesting because 2 weeks before the pandemic started, I was in Paris for Fashion Week, and Milan had already closed down. Coronavirus was already very prevalent in Europe. You know, every morning I was waking up seeing if I was going to have to take a flight home that day.
Right.
And I was talking to somebody and I said, oh, you know, it's okay. No matter what, celebrity placement will always be around. Like, no, people will always need that. My industry is you know, it's foolproof. And 2 weeks later, the world shut down and my industry didn't exist for a long time. And I ate my words, and that really showed me that I was cocky and I was stagnant. I was just letting things come to me and letting them roll in. And through that, I had to, you know, really reach in deep and find some other skills in how to navigate my business and save my business, keep it going.
Right, that's great. And that brings me to our next question. It kind of ties into what you were just saying now. How do you view then success and failure for yourself? And for
really? I view success when you can breathe a sigh of relief and pat yourself on the back and be happy, because success doesn't come in dollars. It's nice and you need it to run a business, but that doesn't mean anything. Success comes when my clients are happy, when my employees are happy, when I provide a happy and safe workplace, and I can look at myself and be proud of the work I did. That's success.
That's great. Thank you. Is there any type of education or training or knowledge or experience that someone should possess to work in your company?
Definitely. I would say there is specific training that is definitely an asset. However, I have hired people with no training at all who I just saw in their eye. They had the drive and they had it, and they knew how to navigate this business, and they've been my best employees. So do I think formal education is extremely important? Absolutely. And I think that you have to have those skills because they take you up the ladder quicker, and you're definitely able to navigate once you are hired. However, drive to me is everything.
Thank you. Is there anything else that you feel very strongly about, a message that maybe I haven't asked that is important for the students to know, as especially for our seniors that are going to be graduating in a couple of months, about what's ahead for them, what they really should be focusing on in any field really that they're going into? Is
Of
it
course.
any message, yeah, that you can tell them, any advice or guidance?
I have a few things. One, leave your ego out of it. Lead with your drive. Lead with what you want. And there are some things that you are not going to want to do, but you have to do because they are going to make you stronger. They will make you a better leader in the long run. And most when I was 18 years old, I interned in New York, and you can't even imagine the things that I had to do. But those things today have actually given me the experience and the strength to be a really good leader. So I would say, obviously, always know your self-worth. Don't ever do anything that makes you feel uncomfortable. But also, leave your ego at the door. If somebody asks you to go get them coffee, sometimes you got to do that, because guess what? In 10 years, somebody's going to get you coffee.
Right.
And I really believe that there is no job too small in any industry. Everybody is part of a cog in a wheel, and we need all of those people to make the business function. So that is something that I would really just put high on my list. I also, going into PR and going into marketing, different clients, really get to know who that client is. Love that client. When you love something, it sells itself. It makes your job easy.
Right. It shows also. People can see that when you're passionate about something, and when you walk in and you have that excitement for what you do, which I think it's so important. This is great advice that you're giving our students, and I'm so thankful and grateful to hear you say that. You're echoing a lot of the things that we do want them to learn and leave high school with, to know that sometimes there's not things that are beneath us, that we almost have to grow into different things, and they all teach us a lesson for where we're going to be and where we're going to go eventually in life. So.
Absolutely. You don't realize it at the time.
Right.
However, in retrospect, you definitely realize why you had to do those things. I'm still learning every day. There are days that I'm a business owner, and there are days that I'm shocked at what I have to do.
Really, I'm sure. I think we all are. When we stop learning, I think that we have to question ourselves, right?
Yes.
Every day is an opportunity to learn something new, not to be cliche about it, but it is.
Well, going back to your previous question, what is failure? I think failure is stopping to learn, is not learning. I think true failure is when you stay in one place and you're stagnant and you stop learning. Because the world moves fast, and you would only hope that you are able to ingest and grow and move with it.